Viewers, good evening and welcome to Hot News. We are live on Pan-African Television. We're also live on Facebook and at Pan-African Television. We are live on YouTube at Pan-African Television. You can leave your comments over there. We'll make a time and read all those out for you. You can join us on our WhatsApp line 0260846539, 0260846539. My name is Justice Appiah, and tonight on Hot News, we are looking at the reason why the police CID invited the chairman of PNC, Bernard Mornah, to answer certain questions. Of course, there have been issues that he made certain comments that warranted some persons to have reported him to the police CID for investigations. He was invited today at the police headquarters. We'll be having a one-on-one conversation with him to find out what actually resulted in that, what he was told, and the way forward. But before we introduce him and delve into the issues properly, let's go and listen to the statements that, according to the reporters, he made that warranted for his invitation. Let's go and listen to that. We'll be back shortly.
If the Electoral Commission will not listen to common sense, we will resist. They will beat us. They will kill us.
No, you want the EC to beat you?
Yes, they will send people to beat us. They will beat us. If we don't die, we will resist. We will continue to demand from the religious leaders. By the way, are they still alive? The moral society, the civil society organizations, for their timely involvement in preventing an impending implosion. Every other card system that we have in this country has the foreign infiltration content in it. So all the cards should be abandoned so that we can do what we call the vouching system. So people who are already Ghanaians, who are already registered voters, are now going to be taken away from the voters register. And when confusion comes there, you think that the Electoral Commission staff will be safe. We will beat each other there. We will kill each other there. If that is what the Electoral Commission want to lead this nation to.
Welcome back. You've listened to the chairman of the PNC and the comments he made. But his comments actually follow the Electoral Commission's decision to compile a new voters register. You all know that Mr. Bernard Mornah has been part, or he has been an integral part of those who have been, or the opposition parties who are kicking against the compilation of a new voters register. They've held series of, demonstrations both in Accra, Kumasi, and some other parts of the country, including Tamale. But before, once again, we introduce him, let's go and listen to some time past what the former president of the land, President John Agyekum Kufuor, said with regards to including the voters' ID card as part of reader documents or as ones that one can use in voting in this country. Let's go and listen to him. We'll come back, take his, take Mr. Bernard Mornah's statement today at the police headquarters, and then we delve into the discussions properly. Let's go and listen to that. We'll come back pretty shortly.
Document that would help identify a citizen as a citizen with the sovereign authority residing in him or her. So if your voter's ID is not incorporated in this, then when it comes to citizens going to make a government, where would you be? How would you say, truly, you also have the Kokoromoti power to make and unmake a government? So voter's ID.
Well, that was former President John Agyekum Kufuor. That question was actually posed by my colleague, Abigail Nkrumah, my former colleague, Abigail Nkrumah. I think I was there when she actually asked that question. That was the day former President John Agyekum Kufuor actually registered for his Ghana card. And, of course, she asked that question. That was actually the response provided. But now, briefly, let's go and listen to Chairman Bernard Mornah today at the police CID headquarters. A very strong statement he made. Let's go and listen to that. We'll be right back.
It is unthinkable that chiefs, community leaders will sit in their communities, Electoral Commission staff will get there and tell those people that they are not Ghanaians on the basis that they don't have Ghana card and passport. It will not happen. We are Ghanaians before national passports. We are Ghanaians before the Ghana card or ECOWAS card. ECOWAS card will not determine whether we are Ghanaians or otherwise. So it is important that the police, some of who are here, who are desiring for change, that they must wake up to the reality that anything that the Electoral Commission does that plunges this nation into calamity, there the police will also be affected. Whether they beat us, whether they kill us, we will continue to stand up for our rights as citizens of this nation, because our great-grandfathers used their toil and their blood to ensure our independence. We shall protect it. Well, they said that my comments were conducive for the breach of peace, and I told them that my comments were conducive for the promotion of peace.
Yes. So you haven't been charged with anything?
That's all. I told them that I stand by the 37-second video that they showed me, and I will not answer any other question. Apart from that, what else could they have done? Every other Tuesday, every 2 weeks. So on the 16th, yes. Wherever I am in the country, I'll report to the police there, not just the headquarters.
Well, that was the chairman of the PNC, Mr. Bernard Mornah. Today, he was followed by an army of supporters who went there to solidarize with him. Of course, they were chanting. They were very angry at what the police actually did today. But I've been very privileged to have Mr. Bernard Mornah in the studios of Pan-African Television. For him, he's my big brother, and he knows. I've always been telling him that, Bernard, you are my big brother. He knows I'm his kid brother. For my sake, he decided not to go anywhere today. He wanted to rest, but today he's in the studios of Pan-African Television. Big bro, welcome to Hot News this evening.
It's delightful to be on your show, and I must commend you for the efforts you made at getting me here.
Thank you so much, my brother.
My chiefs were all recommending that I needed to take a rest. Particularly that we had a marathon yesterday meeting with our lawyers.
Very well.
And traditional leaders, just to find out how they could manage my anger towards the invitation. I think they did a great job. They managed to soften my stance, and I just simply acted according to my conscience by telling them that I stand by what I said.
In defiance of what looks like a criminal prosecution, you have decided not to retract on some statements you have been purported to have made that warranted your invitation to the CID headquarters. Tell us why.
I have insisted that even at the point of cutting my throat, I stand by those words. I am a man of metal, and I stand by the things that I say. I'm not a joker. And indeed, when I'm joking, it has its own meaning. I stand for the things I believe in. And when I say, see, I'll give you an example. Go to Zini. The chief of Zini doesn't have Ghana card. He doesn't have passport. He is the chief of Zini and paramount chief with other sub-chiefs around him. So when you get to Zini, the chiefs will allow the Electoral Commission staff to come and position their gadgets, right? Then the chief cannot register. Why? Because he doesn't have Ghana card. He doesn't have passport. Since when did passport become the basis for which somebody is a Ghanaian? I thought it's just a document to enable you to travel outside of your country. What other relevance does a passport have, apart from enabling one to travel outside of your country when need be? Is that not the case? So people will go for passport when they have an external travel in sight. So majority of people who don't have a need to travel outside of Ghana, particularly by a flight, they don't take passports. In any case, when you even talk about passport, it is only in your naivety that you don't know that not all the regions have passport office. Because Upper West region, we don't have passport office. People who want to get passport must come to Kumasi or come to Sunyani or come to Accra. So you come to Accra, how many days are you coming to spend? Whose hotel or whose house are you going to stay? And with the hustles in Accra, you have to move up and down, go to the passport office and they'll toss you and say, go and come tomorrow. Okay. Come to tomorrow next. You stay there for about 3 or 4 weeks before your data can be captured. And even that, then you go. You are called upon to come back maybe after 2 months. Then your passport is ready. How many Ghanaians? 1.5 million Ghanaians have passports. You have less than 6.5 million people who are captured by the national ID card, not given their cards. You have more than 40% that have not received their cards. And to receive the cards, as I've explained time without number, it's not like going to Bumpurugu market and go and stand in the market and say, okay, your cards are ready. Then you mention people's by their names and then they'll come and take. When you print the cards, you keep the cards, the person will come and go through the same protocols. Thumbprint, do this, you check the Irish. When you finish, then you have to then release the card to the person. That is almost like going through the same registration because the equipment has to be sent to the registration center for people now to come and retrieve their cards. So it's not a situation where you just go and stand in Kwasinkwe market and say people should come and take their cards. So when you have a work in progress card, Electoral Commission, who will not apply common sense, doesn't know that you cannot use a work in progress card to determine that, look, somebody is a Ghanaian. We are Ghanaians, as I said, before national passports. We are Ghanaians before the NIA came into being. And therefore, it is not the NIA card today that determines your citizenship. But you know that casting or registering as a voter, the right to vote, is a fundamental human right. Zero. And so when you have a fundamental human right, that is being subverted by the Electoral Commission, and we are enjoined by our Constitution and our laws to resist anybody who is subverting our Constitution. You say we should keep quiet.
The Electoral Commission is clothed with a mandate of organizing elections in this country. They are organizing these elections within their jurisdictions in law. Why would anybody want to...
Organizing election is not the same as disenfranchising people.
How are they disenfranchising?
The Ghanaians who already have votes, whose names are already in the voters register, are not going to be on the voters register again.
The commission is telling you that, well, if you do not have the NIA card, if you don't have the passport, you can have 2 people guarantee for you. You can have 2 people as guarantee.
You are also deep into the ignorance of the Electoral Commission.
What is the ignorance of the Electoral Commission?
The ignorance is what you have just put. One, you go, and can I use one of your colleagues, Kwame Owusu-Danso, who was born and raised in Tema.
Okay.
Not so.
Very well.
And his mother, who was in Tema, is no more in Tema. They've moved all the way to a town called Mosuku.
Okay.
Who knows Kwame in Mosuku? So if he doesn't have passport and he doesn't have Ghana card, who will go and vouch for him? Somebody will come from Tema and come to Mosuku to come and say that I know Kwame, he was born in Tema.
At least his mom and dad knows him.
His mom and dad who doesn't have passport and Ghana card.
Okay.
So they will not also qualify. So that's why I'm saying that you are also falling into the ignorance of the Electoral Commission. Okay. Because they are assuming that people live in communities where they are known. There are many people who live in communities where they are known. In any case, the person who have to vouch for you might have been a registered voter.
That's true.
So if the person is not already a registered voter, they can't vouch for you.
Okay.
And so if you go to my community, where we are less than 10 who have Ghana the passports, we are less than 80 who have the Ghana cards, how many people can vouch for you in that community? You are telling me that chiefs and in our area, the Tindambas, who are the owners of the land and the owners of the community, they will come because the chiefs don't have Ghana card, they don't have passport. That somebody will now have to come and say that, oh, this is my grandfather. Oh. So because I have Ghana card, I can now attest to the fact that he is a Ghanaian. And you think that it will be a prize for that chief, whose grandson now is more a Ghanaian than him? You think that they will sit down and allow you to do your work? So when we are talking common sense, you don't introduce no sense. Get my point? So this is what I said. If care is not taken, and you go to the communities, and you are faced with this reality, and the chief say, electoral officers, once I am not considered as part of my own community, pack your things and leave.
Bernard, this is a simple explanation that anybody would have understood. Anybody wouldn't have been offended. What necessitated the complaints at the CID office?
So that is why, and today, contrary to what you have said, the CID said there was no complainant.
But we saw some
maybe that person was making muff. The CID said there was no complainant, and that it is the police who took interest in the matter.
Okay. And
decided to, this was what they call a non-evidence investigation. So they chose to come and do the investigation. So the police on their own free will decided to go and do it. I told them that was not true. It was the Central Regional Minister, Kwamina Duncan, who in his usual arrogance and ignorance went and sat on Peace FM and said that they should arrest me. And so the police decided to respond by inviting me to go there. And when they went, there was nothing to show. Because they played the video, and I said, yes, that is me. The video you have played, that is me. Okay? Everything that has been said in the video, I admit to it. I'm not withdrawing a millimeter of it. You wanted to ask me questions, I said no. First, we got to the police station, by the way. What did the police do? When I was walking, I walked from Osu towards the police station. By the time we got to fire service, before I realized, journalists started running. So it was at that point I saw that the police had suddenly just emerged from somewhere, ready to come and devour us. They were coming with their armored cars, their water tankers, fully riot prepared to come and beat. And you can imagine the team that was going with me. They were surging to go into the police. So I had to jump from the middle of the crowd and come in front and said, stop, I am the one you came here to solidarize with. I'm not going. No one should pass me. Why? Because we were walking, I was the only one with a walking stick. The police were having guns. They had all kinds of canisters. You understand? They were using armored cars. They had tankers with water. We had nothing. They are surging on us. You want to go and do what? If we go there, there will be bloodbath.
Are you sure your people were not being violent?
How? The police that were coming to us, we stopped. So we stopped them. You can't ask your reporters.
Okay.
So then the journalists started running. Then I said, you see the misbehavior of the police. This attitude you are bringing to non-violent people. If you come and there's a crash, they will be pushing you with their bare hands. You will decide to use your, what do you call, batons on them. You will shoot at them. You will kill. You provoke the crowd. Fortunately, because we are peace-loving people, I managed to contain the situation. And I said, we are not going. So we stood there. So we are at the fire service end of the traffic light. And the police were at the police service end of the traffic light. It took us more than 30 minutes before wisdom and something prevailed. Or should I say common sense prevailed. So they said that they didn't want the entire team to follow. How difficult was it for you to come than for you to show your level of unprofessional handling of weapons. So you came and said, okay. So the leadership of IPRAN said each of the political parties should at least bring 2 people. The Queen Mothers that came at least should bring 2 people. The chiefs should also have 2 representatives. And so that is how eventually we sorted out. Then we moved, now we crossed.
Okay.
The rest of the team stayed. We entered the police CID office. And that was my shock. As soon as we got there, and then pleasantries were exchanged. The deputy director of the CID, Nana Sasraku II, said that now I have been formally arrested.
Arrested for what?
Then I put my hands like this. If I'm formally arrested, so I put my hands. You can handcuff me. Then he said no. And my lawyer said no, he wanted to get something.
Okay.
You have invited somebody to come and assist you in investigations. The person obliges and complies with your invitation. He gets here without any charge. You say he's arrested. How is that possible? And for what offense? Then the director of legal at the CID office was now called upon to come and prefer a charge on me, where he said that section 29 of the criminal code, as yeah, I think section 29, or is it section? Yeah, section 29, and pointed out that my comments were offensive conduct conducive for the breach of peace. Then I laughed and said my comments were defensive conduct for the promotion of peace.
I have a problem with that. How were your comments defensive?
So that is what they put as their charge. So ab initio, I just told them that, look, my comments were defensive conduct for the promotion of peace.
In what way?
Because I am telling the Electoral Commission that there is an imminent calamity ahead of you.
Okay.
Don't go there. Because I know where the Electoral Commission will not be. Why? How many police officers are you going to send there? 2 people. In communities where people will decide that their vote is their fundamental human rights. And that you have come there to deny them the right to vote. You think that there will be peace there? So if I am alerting the Electoral Commission, which statement I made to ECOWAS today when I got a call from them, that if you say my comments are offensive, I'm telling you that they are defensive conduct for the promotion of peace. Then my lawyer said, but this is not how things are done. What is they say they have a video that they were going to show us. So all my lawyers, Dr. Basid, Raymond, Tuguba, all of them, they started laughing and said, no. Common procedure. This one is common procedure. Somebody you have invited to come and assist in investigation. If you have a video, you will play the video. And you say that, okay, you said A, B, C, D. So because of A, B, C, D, you have committed a crime. We are arresting you. That should be the procedure. You don't go and arrest the person. Then you look for a charge for the person. And after that, you now take the person to go and look at the video. It doesn't gel. But the my lawyer said, okay, this is police procedure. But common sense alone will tell you that this is not the procedure. So we agreed to go with the police procedure. What did they do? They played the 37 seconds video. When they finished, first question, are you the one in the video? I said, yes. And those are my words. Then they said, okay, now that you have said this, we can now formally arrest you and charge you.
Okay.
So they charged me.
What were the charges preferred?
Offensive conduct, conducive for the breach of peace.
Okay.
That's all.
Bernard, I'll refer you to a statement you made on Pan-African Television's Good Morning Africa, where you said that one Obiri Boahen of the New Patriotic Party,
that's their Deputy General Secretary.
Deputy General Secretary, has said that whoever would disrupt the registration exercise would be beaten. And you promised to slap him 3 times if he dares. Do you think that that, promote anything peace? And
you expect me to go to my registration center and say that I'm resisting this exercise we are doing, then Obi Ibrahim comes and slap me, then I'll fold my hands. Is that what you expect me to do? Or you expect? No, I'm coming. Yes, I'm saying that. Am I the one who brought the violence? So I should just fold my hands. Somebody come and gives me whop. Because I said that, no, this exercise we are embarking on will
disrupt the exercise.
Did I say I will disrupt the exercise? I said I will resist. I said I will resist. And you said that those of us who are going to resist the registration, they will beat us. And I pointed out that you can't beat me.
Okay.
When you beat me, I'll beat you back. So we'll beat each other. If you take a stick, I don't assume that you want to beat me. I assume you want to knock my head and I'll die. So I should just sit down for you to knock my head. So I'll try to avoid. But in that process, when I also get you, I'll knock you off. And you come and say that I have done something wrong.
You ended up by saying that if the person attempts killing you and fails, you will end up killing the person.
Even Jesus Christ.
Does that promote anything? Peace?
I should have died. And when I die, that will promote peace. And when I fail to die and I decide that, okay, since you wanted to kill me, also take it and see whether death is good. Then you say that I am not for peace. What kind of logic is that? The person who wanted to kill me, and I managed to swerve, and I also want him to now taste death. When I succeed in killing him, then you say that I don't want peace. Where is this justice from?
There's always an amicable way of settling issues.
So that is why you have to warn the people that don't go that tangent. Because what you are going to do will spark a reaction.
Okay.
And if it sparks a reaction, and I'm saying that your 2 or 3 police persons at the registration centers cannot contain us. Or you think they can?
Most
they can't. If you think they can, go to Washington now and go and see where Trump is. He's gone under the White House. Because the police are there, they can't control the anger of the people. I'm telling you, don't provoke the people. Don't deny our tendambas. Don't deny our namine, nananum, who are owners of their communities, more or less. You go there and tell Nananum that, Namine, that you are not a chief. Or that despite that you are a chief, you don't come from the community because you don't have a Ghana card. You don't have a passport. And that chief will be happy to say, oh, you have done well to come to my community to tell me that I am not even of the community. And so continue to do your registration and I'm not going to register. So that that chief will be denied the fundamental human right to even choose who and who should come and assist in the development of the area. And you have done justice. And the chiefs will sit down and look at you and say that, good, Electoral Commission, you have done well. You have even taken them away as citizens, first of their own communities, and second of Ghana. And what is your basis? Ghana card and passport. When we are telling you common sense, you say you will not listen. You want to listen the hard way. And when I say it as it's supposed to be, you turn around to go and tell police, Central Regional Minister, they should investigate me. So they investigated me. I told them that I said those things. What else can happen? Court or death?
Now, I was listening to one deputy majority chief whip on a sister station who said that persons who thronged the police CID headquarters to show solidarity to you, especially members of parliament, he described the support as a stupid and foolish support. How would you react to that?
Well, when you have buffoons,
because he said your actions and should I say your inactions and actions.
I'm saying when you have buffoons privileged to go to parliament.
What did he say?
Buffoons privileged to go to parliament. They can make such ugly statements.
Are you referring to?
I'm referring to Matthew. Yes, the MP for Pandai.
Repeat that again.
When you have buffoons privileged to go to parliament, they will make silly comments like this. Is he not of the New Patriotic?
Those are fair criticisms.
Is he not of the New Patriotic Party? Where President today, Nana Akufo-Addo, stated that all die be die, Atuwa kurampo yechiro omu bibi kakra. What did they show in Atuwa? They showed violence. Did he condemn President Nana Akufo-Addo? Was he stupid? Was he foolish? When they have Kennedy Agyapong, who just ran his mouth like diarrhea, talking anything that comes in his mouth, including telling the people of Ghana that when you see a gunman or an Ewe, you should kill him, decapitate him. Did he condemn Kennedy Agyapong? Is he stupid? Is he foolish? Is he not a buffoon? When you have Sami Owoku, National Youth Organizer of the MPP, saying that you don't need a gun because when you have to get a gun, you have to get a license. So go and take pistons, the one we pound fufu with. That one, you don't need license to hold it. So you can kill people. Did he condemn that? Is he not stupid? When you have my brother Anthony Kabo saying that if they don't win the elections, Ghana will turn into Afghanistan. Did he condemn? Was he stupid? So when you have buffoons privileged to go to parliament and they think that they have privilege of monopoly of foul language, we have to tell them.
He was of the view that the police was actually doing their work.
Which doing? Was the police not doing the work when they invited Kennedy Agyapong? Didn't they go to lift Kennedy Agyapong with all the NPP headquarters and stopped vehicles from moving? That time he was stupid, eh? He was foolish. See, this country, nobody owns violence, eh? Nobody owns ugly talk than anybody. So when you get that privileged position, be careful with what you say, because I am saying that if you allow your stupidity to cross my path, you'll be slashed.
Are those words not too harsh?
On who?
On whoever you are using them.
On whoever said that people who came to solidarize with me were foolish and stupid. That person is a moron.
He says the actions were stupid.
I'm saying that person is a moron. Tell him that I said he's a moron.
Are those not fair criticisms?
I have also just given fair criticism of him.
Would you agree that the police was working within their mandate? And of course, they were.
And citizens have a right to solidarize. Since when did solidarizing with another group become a crime? When this police arrest went viral, friends in Nigeria, Pan-Africanists, you didn't see their statement? Those in Zimbabwe, Kenya, South Africa, Uganda, Benin, you didn't see their statements? So that solidarity is foolish. Tell people in authority that if, because they are saturated with the little food that they have eaten, they can come and spew nonsense, we'll give them response back. In equal measure, Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah and co., they fought, grandfathers toiled, their blood spilled to gain us our independence. We will not sacrifice that independence and freedom that they gain for us on the platter of somebody belly full.
You think that a member of parliament is barely full?
Oh, but he has been given deputy majority whip. So he gets something small for it. So he foretalk nonsense.
Now, what's the way forward? I believe that after you've appeared before the CID operatives, you're supposed to be reporting. Can you explain that?
I'll report. When they gave me the statement to write, and I tell you, I can remember, I just told them that I made the statements. This is my statement. You can quote it. I made the statements in the video that was just played to me. I have not committed any crime. I have nothing more to add. That is my statement to the police. So just quote what I have said. That is my entire statement to the police. So I didn't withdraw a millimeter or a centimeter of my comments. I stand by them because if we proceed on that tangent, we are running into a danger. I don't want to see my country run into a danger. And that is why when I was speaking to ECOWAS this morning, I was passionate to tell them that if you sit down there and say you are sending a fact-finding mission to Ghana, and because of COVID you are staying away, by the time COVID is finished, Ghana could be in tatters. ECOWAS will not be at peace. So it's better for you to find a way to get into the country to find out the true situation. Less than 6 months into an election, you want to compile a new voters register. That will be accepted. You are going to give us 6 days. So the chiefs, the workers in Ghana who have to sort permission to go to their various communities to go and register. You think that within these 6 days, they will have to. And we have to go and conform with COVID protocols, yeah? So if you check the time per person to register, I can tell you, you cannot register more than 200 people in a registration center. And you think that you'll be able to register 18 million people who are qualified to be on the voters register. And if they are not on the voters register, it is not their fault. But it is the fault of the fact that you did not give them ample time and that they could not register because we have to observe certain protocols. Worst of all, you have even introduced a card system or a source document that would deny majority of the people the chance to be there. Or you don't get it.
Very well.
So in that instance, are the people going to be on the register? Is it not a denial of their fundamental human rights? And when people come to solidarize with me, you have ignoramuses sitting down and just dropping their mouths before they have eaten something small.
Well, viewers, you're still watching Hot News on Pan-African Television with me, Justice Appiah. It's getting hotter, and you can keep your messages coming in on 0260846539, 0260846539. We are streaming live on Facebook at Pan-African Television. You can leave your comments over there. We'll make a time and read all those out for you. You can also link up on YouTube at Pan-African Television. But you know what? There are some questions I would want to ask Chairman Bernard Mornah. Let's go and listen to the statement he made today at the police CID headquarters. When we come back, we ask those other questions. Let's go and watch. We'll be right back.
It is unthinkable that chiefs, community leaders will sit in their communities, electoral commission staff will get there and tell those people that they are not Ghanaians on the basis that they don't have Ghana card and passport. It will not happen. We are Ghanaians before national passports. We are Ghanaians before the Ghana card or ECOWAS card. ECOWAS card will not determine whether we are Ghanaians or otherwise. So it is important that the police, some of who are here, who are desiring for change, that they must wake up to the reality that anything that the Electoral Commission does that plunges this nation into calamity, there the police will also be affected. Whether they beat us, whether they kill us, we will continue to stand up for our rights as citizens of this nation because our great-grandfathers used their toil and their blood to ensure our independence. We shall protect it. Well, they said that my comments were conducive for the breach of peace, and I told them that my comments were conducive for the promotion of peace.
Yes. So you haven't been charged with anything?
That's all. I told them that I stand by the 37-second video that they showed me, and I will not answer any other question. Apart from that, what else could they have done?
And how
every other Tuesday, every 2 weeks. So on the 16th, yes. Wherever I am in the country, I'll report to the police there, not just the headquarters. It is unthinkable that chiefs, community leaders will sit in their communities, electoral commission staff will get there and tell those people that they are not Ghanaians on the basis that they don't have Ghana card and passport. It will not happen. We are Ghanaians before national passports. We are Ghanaians before the Ghana card or ECOWAS card. ECOWAS card will not determine whether we are Ghanaians or otherwise. So it is important that the police, some of who are here, who are desiring for change, that they must wake up to the reality that anything that the Electoral Commission does that plunges this nation into calamity, there the police will also be affected.
Whether they beat us, whether they kill us, we will continue to stand up for our rights as citizens of this nation, because our great-grandfathers used their toil and their blood to ensure our independence. We shall protect it. Well, they said that my comments were conducive for the breach of peace, and I told them that
Welcome
my
back. You're
comments
still
were
watching Hot News on Pan-African Television with me, Justice Appiah. Tonight on Hot News, we have the national chairman of PNC in the studio, Bernard Mornah. Always, I've not been mentioning the name very well. He will definitely be angry with me, but well, that's the best. That's the best way I can mention Mornah. Chairman, you of course spoke after you were granted a bail. Were you granted a bail? Am I right?
Yeah.
After you were granted a bail, you spoke. What were you trying to communicate in your statement?
First, to re-emphasize that there is potential danger if care is not taken.
Okay.
And that danger could lead to a national calamity, and we should do everything to avert it. Don't forget that the police too are human beings, okay? And they have conscience. So when you ask the police to even go and beat innocent citizens,
okay,
those police will tell you that we can't, right? And why? Some of the police, and I keep telling people, in 1996, after my national service, I wanted to be enlisted into the security agencies. My colleagues who went to the security agencies, most of them are generals now. Okay?
Very well.
So I could have also been a general. So I would have been a senior security officer if I had also joined the security agency.
Okay.
So my colleagues who are there from school and many other places, you send them to come and ship me. They will come and see me and say, no, we will not do this one. So whether you like it or not, from school and from other associations, we have friends, we have relations who will not come and unleash violence simply because some minister somewhere has said they should come and do so.
Very well.
And so when they don't do it, you know the ramifications. Because they themselves, some of the police don't even have Ghana cards. Some of them, if it's not for peacekeeping purposes, they don't have passports. So such are also going to be denied the right to vote, which is a fundamental human right. Which means that by the actions of the Electoral Commission, they have subverted the Constitution. And when we tell you, don't do that because it will cost us. Look, first and foremost, the voters register, new voters register is needless. You insist that you want to do it, and you want to take away cards. Look, we have current voter ID cards. Majority of people, that is what they can carry. You say you will not accept it. When I use national health insurance to obtain my passport, okay? Because I use national health insurance to obtain my passport, and you say that we can't use national health insurance card to obtain voter ID card. So today, will my passport, which I use national health insurance to obtain, will it be valid for a new voters register? If it is valid, are you making sense? Because I'm telling you on authority
Very well.
that I use my health insurance card to procure my passport. But you have made the passport a source document. You say national health insurance should not be made. And the reasons you are giving are so peonic. Yeah, so sorry, peonic. You know what I mean? That the national voter card, that foreigners are on it. Our passport, foreigners have it. Even the Ghana card. You have seen videos of Chinese people having Ghana card, or you've not seen that?
Well,
Asians having Ghana card.
I saw videos circulating on social media.
Yeah, you've seen Asians having Ghana card. They are Ghanaians. And we, those who are proper Ghanaians, but we don't have Ghana card. So those Asians and other nationals can now go and register onto our vote because they possess Ghana card. But we who are original Ghanaians, but we are unfortunate because we cannot get opportunity to travel. We don't get travel document, passport. We don't get a passport, Ghana card. We will now not, we will be denied the right to go and vote. And you think that would, don't lead us to that war drum. And then we will not beat it. But when you put war drum before us and you say don't beat it, Massa, It will not work. Elections are emotive issues. The people of my area want to elect me into parliament. You go and deny them the right to register. How will they elect me to parliament? How will I represent the interests for which they want me to come to parliament? The interests of some people in Ghana want to elect the PLC candidate for president. And because you have denied them the right, they cannot be on the voters register. So how will they elect that person to become president? To be able to put across the issues that will ensure that they get enough to eat?
That of course doesn't mean that we should create chaos.
So I'm saying that provide them all the opportunities so that they can be on the register.
Okay. Because
we are saying that the voters register, was it not on 7th December 2019 that we used it to do the district assembly elections? It was no good. So the assembly elections are no good. Was it not this voters register that we used to create the 6 new regions that President Akufo-Addo is excited about? So the 6 regions are also illegal because they are coming from a document that is not right. Is it not this same voters register that elected President Akufo-Addo as president? So President Akufo-Addo is illegal. Probably the first illegal president who is leading us. The 270 members of parliament, are they illegal? If the voters register is not right, then all these actions that have taken place cannot be right. Including the recently appointed Supreme Court judges. Because it is the constitution or the voters register that gave President Akufo-Addo authority and ascension into presidency, which ascension then gave him right to appoint Supreme Court judges. So if that voters register is criminalized today, then we cannot have somebody running as a criminal president who then appoints other judges. If you appoint judges, then it means that those judges are also criminally appointed. The creation of the regions are also criminally created. The members of parliament that we have are also criminally elected. So don't go there. Nothing is wrong with the voters register. It has served this purpose. Imani Ghana will tell you that in the first year of introducing the new biometrics, we had 30% default rate. The following year, we had about 7.5%, the following election, 7.5 default rate. In this last election, you have less than 2% default rate. So it means that the more you use the system, the more the system itself become robust and manifest. Why? Some people want to eat Ghana's money. Electoral Commission, they want to eat our money. Because they have nearly 1 billion. And so they want to eat. And they are pushing all of us at the brink of collapsing our nation. And you people are here supporting them.
But the Electoral Commission tell us that, look, we have a bloated register, we have obsolete
President Akufo-Addo is bloated president.
They do not have access
to the Electoral Commission today that we have, they are also bloated because President Akufo-Addo appointed them. Or they don't get it. Jean Mensa was not appointed by Akufo-Addo. Bosman was not appointed by Akufo-Addo. Sami Tete was not appointed by Akufo-Addo. They are bloated. Bloated officials at the Electoral Commission. No wonder that they are giving us all this confusion.
They were not elected under the
president was elected. The president was elected by a bloated register. Which bloated register gave the president power to also appoint bloated commissioners at the Electoral Commission.
Okay.
A lie.
Now the issue that has resulted in all this brouhaha, your invitation and all of that, finally, the Electoral Commission has started with the piloting of the current registration. Which means that we are likely
all my regions to go for the piloting. They went. The report they are giving me, some of the equipment could not function. Then the Electoral Commission staff in those areas said that those equipment needed to be upgraded. Upgraded to what? So when is the upgrading going to take place? So these defects during these pilot processes will now have to be collated. And then a report compiled and sent back to the manufacturer of the equipment that these are the shortfalls that we have occasioned. In any case, when you finish all these, what do we call it, pilot, there is supposed to be an inter-party advisory committee meeting where we will also tell you what report we have also received from our party reps at the various regions and registration centers. Then you can input all that and send to the manufacturer of the equipment. The manufacturer will now factor in those deficiencies to make the machines more efficient. And then they will now manufacture bulk and send back to you. You think that all this will be done June, then we'll go into July. And then you will quicken people through 6 days, not even 10 days, 6 days registrations. So you come, people have to come here. So if I have to register in Sankana, and by some reason I'm not able to get to Sankana, and they take away the registration center from Sankana and go to another place, it means that I should be following the Electoral Commission wherever they go. Why because of some people's small chops, this nation must suffer this calamity?
Is it that, Bernard, as a person, you're against the compilation of new voters register?
I have told you that the new voters register is needless. It is unnecessary. We have a voters register that the Electoral Commission is described as very credible and without blemish. So why do you change a very credible and without blemish voters register for something whose credibility you are yet to ascertain, and particularly within this short time? But if the Electoral Commission is insisting that they want to go up with their exercise, they should do it with some common sense. And that common sense will require that, look, avail to the people, the citizens, the opportunity to go and register. You have excluded birth sets. So let me ask you. You go, we come to your registration center. You come and introduce your child. And somebody protests that your child is a minor. He or she cannot be on the register. What document are you going to use to prove that the child is of age?
Birth set.
The birth set is not accepted as one of the source documents. So can it be accepted as a proof of somebody's age? Because you say birth set cannot be used. So if birth set cannot be used as a source document, so how can birth set now be used to attest somebody's age? You don't think confusion will be there?
Well, we're getting closer to that. But let me take a swipe of some of our messages. I have a lot of messages here, actually. This one says, Chairman Bernard Mornah is second to none vis-a-vis CID interrogation in recent times by standing by his words, unlike others who spit on the ground and use their tongues to pick it back. Stand by the truth. Francis Ahianyo Ahovi. Good evening to you, Jay. Good evening to you, to my brother. This one says, good evening. Please kindly tell Mr. Bernard Mornah I really like him very much. Thank you so much. Mr. Bernard Mornah is listening. This one says, Mr. Mornah, you talk too much. This one says, good evening, Mr. Justice. Where this government is taking the country to is unthinkable. But anyway, some leading members of the MPP advise Ghanaians that Akufo-Addo presidency Ghanaians will sleep with one eye open. And that is what we are witnessing. My regards to my big brother Bernard Mornah. God save us. Comrade Ibrahim in Wa East. Comrade, thank you so much for your message. This one says, I'm Kwisila Ware, Honorable Asesewa. He says the president should resign first to prove that the voters register that elected is fake to pave way for a good, correct one. Laudable, they must be sorry. I cannot actually read that. I'm sorry. We have to send our messages devoid of insults. This is Bismarck watching you live from where I love my brother Bernard Mornah for standing by the truth. The MPP should, well, sometimes make the messages short, simple and concise, so we'll be able to read it. Bernard, you are nothing but a very good, debater. Thank you so much for raising such issues. Thank you for your message. This one says, Nana Akufo-Addo should stop thinking that his incompetent government is bigger than Nkrumah's Ghana. And if they dare to touch Comrade Bernard Mornah, who has proven to Nana Addo that the old age of Methuselah has nothing to do with the wisdom of Solomon. They should be prepared to kill all of us in this country. Nicholas in a flower sent in that one. Nicholas, thank you so much. Chairman is really making sense. Good evening. I'm Nukumu from Volta region. This compilation of new voters register is really a problem. Same register is used in bringing MPP into power. So why then new register this time? I love the man. Wow. Thank you so much for your message. This one says, nice meeting you, Northern Regional NDC Coalition Youth Deputy Secretary T.T. Kamara. Right this. It is sad that some anyway, if you send a message that has insults in it, unfortunately, I'm not going to read that. So take note. Let's send our messages devoid of insults. Good evening. The gentleman talks as if Ghana belongs to him. I don't know why you should have this unacceptable interview with him. Well, you see it as unacceptable interview. I mean, what makes you think that your comment or your message is acceptable? All right.
I mean, you can't condemn.
Well, I can't condemn the view, but he cannot also condemn whoever I have on my program. I'm sorry.
His view.
This lady
no
Boss is going to bend Ghana if this continues with her decision. Some ladies are very dangerous, even from the beginning in the Bible. Mr. Bernard Mornah is not only speaking the truth only, but educating we, the upcoming generation, to learn how to open the truth to people. We are proud of Mr. Bernard Mornah. God is going to lead you to fight like David in the Bible. Say peace from Mampong. Thank you so much for your message. Good evening to you and to your cherished listeners and viewers out there. Kindly tell Mr. Bernard Mornah not to abuse the freedom of speech that we all enjoy in this country. He should better stop the evil act and let peace prevail. There is a saying in Dagbani that not only one woman gives birth to Biyariga. I reserve my comments. Adams sent in that one. Adams, thank you so much for your message. Kojo Bwedi in Kumawu, Bodoma say, sometimes I'm not happy to be a Ghanaian. Mr. Mornah, may God bless you. Kojo Bwedi Kumawu, Bodoma say, thank you so much for your message. This one says, Justice, good evening. What is wrong with us as a country? Is the EC above the law? Citizens are demanding the EC to work on the voters register and update it. How is it difficult? I salute Mr. Bernard Mornah for his courage. He shouldn't be intimidated by these cowards. From Sundiata in Sundiata, thank you so much for your message. This one says, see, Bernard Mornah should know that Ghanaians are not fools. He has never taken his breakfast with any Ghanaian, and for that matter, cannot deceive any other citizen to engage in any unlawful act.
Just the same way President Akufo-Addo has not taken his breakfast with me. Has President Akufo-Addo taken his breakfast with you?
Not at all. Not at all.
Why has my taking of breakfast has something to do with him?
Very well. Let me take some few messages and wrap up. Good evening. I think we are not in normal times, and my advice to all the stakeholders that two wrongs don't make any right. The Electoral Commission must listen, and the NDC must also listen. But to be frank, the video of Bernard was thumbs up. That's exactly what he put over there. Thank you so much for your message. Good evening, dear host. I'm Bob Bunkuti from Northeast Region. Please, I've never seen a politician like Mr. Bernard Mornah. He's a very hard guy. Thank you so much for your message. This one, finally, let me take this one. I have a lot of messages, but I've been prompted to wrap up. So, in acquiring the Ghana card, I had to send my sister to guarantee for me. Now, the EC wants 2 persons to guarantee for us, but they will not register you for voter ID if you spend just 1 guarantor, whilst those who were guaranteed by only 1 person to get the Ghana card will be registered because they now have the Ghana card. Does this make sense? Again, will it be acceptable if 2 of a father's children guarantee for him? And what will that mean in terms of determining the father's citizenship? The opinion leaders, including the media, should be truthful to their conscience. By Nana Asante Krobia in Konongo. Nana, thank you so much for your message. I cannot read your messages in it, but I have a lot of messages and a lot more coming in. Kindly forgive me if I've been unable to read your message. But we have to wrap up on the program. But finally, whilst you were giving your statements today, we heard some people, some supporters chanting, all die be die, all die be die, all die be die. Looks as if people are ready to do anything just to make sure that the right thing is done according to what you are fighting for. Would you use this opportunity to calm nerves so that we look at a makeable way of course, settling this issue?
I demonstrated leadership when the police wanted to behave in a manner that could have endangered the lives of many of us. And I just can't fathom what would have happened or predict what would have happened if I did not step out there to tell the people not to go forward any longer. Can you just imagine what would have happened? That will tell you that we are peace-loving. And we are determined to protect the peace of our nation, even at the peril of our lives. And therefore, I want to encourage many of them that, look, despite that President Kufuor said, President Akufo-Addo, then in opposition, said, for instance, that all die be die. President Mills responded that Ghana will not die. Ghana will live to give glory to its maker. It is important for all of us to know how we can avert calamities or endangering calamities. And one of the best ways we can avert this, and some of these people, by the way, some of the people that are sending comments attacking me, if you ask them whether they have Ghana card, they no get.
Very well.
If you ask them whether they have passport, they no get. By virtue of the fact that you belong to the New Patriotic Party, doesn't mean that if you don't have Ghana card, you can take your New Patriotic card to go and get registered. So even you will be denied. So the fight that I'm fighting is an all-inclusive system that will ensure even you, who is of the MPP, to also get the opportunity to be on the register. So this thing is not to deny anybody. Put every Ghanaian that is qualified to be on the voters register if you are adamant and you want to go ahead to compile a new voters register, which I feel is needless, but you think that you should do it. If you want to do it in a manner that every Ghanaian that is qualified to be on the voters register is not denied because of some other documents that are not the basis to determine our citizenship. Because if you go to chapter 11 of the Constitution, citizenship is defined. And that citizenship is not determined by Ghana card or passport. Is that what it says?
Not at all.
So if it doesn't say so, why would that now be the basis for which I should be a Ghanaian to go and register?
Your final words, if the AC should go ahead and compile the new voters register, what would Bernard Mornah do?
I see big confusion. I will not be in a position to avert that confusion because I will not be at all the registration centers.
Very well.
So as to calm people down. I'm telling you that 2-3 policemen at registration centers will not solve the problem there. In fact, they will run to the bush and leave the registration center for you when the people's anger is getting to them. And so don't do it. Use your senses. Use common sense. That tells you that give chance to all Ghanaians who are qualified to be on the voters register to be on the voters register. Don't limit them. Don't exclude them. If you are an electoral commission, your duty is to promote people onto the register, not to ensure that you deny them entry onto the register.
All right, thank you so much for coming, Chairman Bernard Mornah. He's my senior brother. Chairman, thank you so much for coming. I'm so grateful. But this all time allows.
Let me finally thank the chiefs. And I need to state this, that many had spoken to me. And probably I have toned down. And so I want to thank them and commend them for their great wisdom. This wisdom that they have demonstrated to me, you can't buy it anywhere.
Very well.
And I want to thank the many people who came without my invitation. Because you do know that I even stated that even my lawyer, I don't even want him around because I was capable of going to represent myself at the police. But many people still asked. And I had about 13 lawyers volunteering to support my cause. I want to commend all of them. For all those people who defied the reins to stay there to show solidarity. And for the many African countries, the Pan-Africanists across the continent, that decided to issue statements and to show solidarity, I cannot thank you enough. Ours is a sacred duty, an inherited responsibility to ensure that justice continues to prevail in our society and that we are able to harness the dividends of democracy that will lead to an accelerated economic development of our people and increase the opportunities that there is so that many young people can participate in our continent's rebuilding. That is what we all have to do. And that is why we are alerting the Electoral Commission of Ghana that this path that you are passing, if you take that route, it may endanger the peace, and we don't want you to do so.
All right, thank you so much for coming, my brother. I'm so grateful. You're very tired. I understand you should have been resting by now, but for my sake and for the sake of Pan-African Television, he's been here with us. We are so grateful for your time. This is our time will allow us on the program. Let me say a very big thank you to Edem, my director, Sewa, David and Foster, my cameraman, Latifa, my producer, Ruben, my producer, Titi, the sound man, and whoever has been part of the success of Hot News this evening. I'm so grateful. You're doing a very good job. Let's keep it up and make sure that we do this till we are successful. Thank you so much for being that, for also watching us from your homes. Make a time with us, same time tomorrow. Have a lovely night. Goodbye. My name is Justice Appiah.
Wherever I am in the country, I'll report to the police there, not just the headquarters. It is unthinkable that chiefs, community leaders will sit in their communities, electoral commission staff.